What a week, right? What a week. It's been a hell of a thing when discussing Captain Marvel. It's either a culture war push or a culture war push. It doesn't matter what side of the war you're on. This war is raging. And Captain Marvel sure as hell isn't going to stop it or end it or finish it or whatever real ham-fisted line that was used in the trailer for the movie. But what we have to look at is the idea behind why things are happening the way that they're happening, why things are moving in the way that they are. And it does bring me originally to this particular post right here, which is this one that popped up a couple days ago from Rotten Tomatoes saying, hello, we're making some changes. We're going to be getting rid of the audience, the want to see score, as well as the comments. And a lot of people lost their collective shit. I mean, they lost their collective shit over it. They're just like, no, I can't comment on a movie I haven't seen yet. It's nothing to get upset over. When the movie comes out, you'll be able to troll it all you want. Nothing really changes except just when you get to do it. But still, it's caused a lot of people to start talking about this from the perspective of, is Disney running the show at Fandango? Is Disney controlling how things are going to play out? Are they the Illuminati of Hollywood? And to some extent, I'm going to go, yeah. There's clearly money and power at play here. There is. There really, really, really is. But it's happening in a way that no one is talking about yet, at least from what I've seen. If you pay attention, people look at Rotten Tomatoes and they go, okay, fine. Who owns Rotten Tomatoes? Well, that would be Fandango. And Fandango stands to earn a pretty good amount of money off of ticket sales for Captain Marvel. The same ticket sales that they have pumped up as being high. We're talking 100+ million in its opening weekend next week. They're saying that this is coming out of Captain Marvel. This is coming out of Fandango. And that is what we have to believe. Okay. And then this thing happens today. So if you head over to Fandango's website, if you actually head over there, you can see that this is my zip code. I'm in Olympia, Washington. I'm doxing myself, I guess. And these are the theaters near me. This is Fandango for the 8th of March, 2019. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, that's it. That's all they show. March 9th is when it boots up here. We see here, same thing. Captain Marvel only. Captain Marvel only, but go back to Wednesday, March 6th, right? The day before. And look what's there. Look what's all at the theater nearest my place. What the hell is going on? What in the hell is happening here? Why can't I pre-purchase tickets for anything other than Captain Marvel on that weekend? Well, there's a couple ideas that come to mind. There's obviously the most tinfoil hat version, which is Disney's controlling it. The Fandango doesn't want to make anything else available. So people feel that they have to go and see Captain Marvel as a way to try to salvage the bad PR coming from Brie Larson's comments and the controversy in the culture war surrounding it. Those are elements obviously that are popping up in a tinfoil hat version of it. And then there's a business side of it that's just, well, it's next week. Theaters may not have their lineup for what's going to be available post next Friday. And so they just have Captain Marvel lined up, which is entirely true. Theaters don't always post their screening schedule until a couple days beforehand. There's a reason why back in the day when people still read newspapers, you could not get the current movie schedule until it appeared in the Sunday paper. Now, Captain Marvel already is going to have its ticket sales up there for pre-sale. So they're going to have to know when they're going to be available. So that's a factor. And the other theaters probably haven't submitted their schedule yet until Sunday. That's probably another factor. When I worked at a theater in Los Angeles, when I managed a theater in LA, we didn't update our schedule until a couple days before the movie came out. When I worked at a drive-in theater in San Diego, we didn't update our schedule until literally the day of, because we were just a 2-screen theater and that's how we had to do it. Not every theater operates the same way. Not every theater has access to the same information or the ability to get it out in that fashion. So people out there that are running the narrative that Fandango is cucking to Disney on this one, probably not all the way correct, but in some aspects, yes, probably correct. It's a weird place to be. It's a weird middle ground to be. And there's a reason for that. Now, the question then boils down to why? If Fandango, which owns Rotten Tomatoes, is going to make money off of this, then who stands to benefit on top of Fandango? Because somebody's always owned by something else, as we know. And who owns Fandango? Well, It's partly owned by Warner Brothers and Universal. But the Warner Brothers aspect of it is what I find to be the most interesting. Warner Brothers currently owns half of Fandango. And this popped up yesterday in the trades. Disney in active talks with AT&T to acquire Warner Media's 10% of Hulu stake. Yeah, right there. Disney in active talks to acquire Hulu's Warner Brothers stake in Hulu. 10%. Now, we've talked about this before when I've brought up Disney Plus and its integration with Hulu, that when the Fox deal gets completed, which are now saying will happen in about 30 days, they will own 60% of Hulu. And Hulu is going to be a gateway into Disney Plus. I've said that. Then they got to get the other competitors out of the way to wholly own Hulu. And that would be Warner Brothers had 10%. Comcast has the other 30%. Comcast isn't going to give it up right away, but Warner's is already going to be launching their own Warner Media streaming service. And so that's going to be something that's going to be their own stake. And so they might as well sell off their particular stake in Hulu in order to free up some cash to invest in their own property. Remember, everything's going to their own streaming service. It seems to make sense that Warner would do the same. Even though if I were Warner, I would stay active with this and then just, whatever. I use it as a solid business metric to be tied in with Disney to share your stuff on the same platform. But, whatever, man, whatever. They apparently know more about business than I do. So Warner Brothers owns Fandango, which owns Rotten Tomatoes, which after Star Wars and Captain Marvel were hit by trolls trying to tank a wanting to see score, which is the most arbitrary nonsense ever. And the media went out there trying to claim that it was some over-the-top hyperbolic review bomb situation, which again, never happened. Both sides of a culture war pushing a false narrative as a way to spur clicks and money and influence. And that's it. So then Hulu responds and they decide that they want to come in and, Rotten Tomatoes responds. So they hide it. Then Fandango, its parent company, makes it so you can only buy tickets there, furthering the controversy, even though I've explained fully how that could be explained away. And then we find out that Disney wants to buy 10% of Warner's stake in Hulu. I mean, the trail is there. This is all business related. This isn't ideology related. They're not trying to, I would argue that they are probably trying to protect Captain Marvel to an extent by doing the Rotten Tomatoes thing. I personally am fine with them getting rid of that comment section until the film comes out. And that's kind of where we find ourselves. It's a weird situation to say the least, but if you start following it back and tracking the money, we can at least get a good idea of where things stand. Anyway, so I don't know what you guys have to say about this. It could be, I do want to hear your thoughts and your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day and peace out. Hey, thank you so much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. While you're here, feel free to check out that subscribe button. Help the channel out. Or you can watch any of the newest videos and make sure that you're caught up to date with what's going on in Hollywood and entertainment. So that way, when you're at work tomorrow, you can wow your friends with the information you learned from watching these videos. That's right. I said it. Subscribe.